from graduating college to now, 10 years of working in this. And it's still really fun. I still really love coming to work every day. And I always tell, whenever we have interns or whenever we have people come in, I always tell them, find something, whether it's this business or something else, find something that you really love, that you don't wake up and dread going to work. That you wake up and I want to come to work every day. Every day there's a different story. Every day I get to talk to new people. And it's still fun. So I hope that, I can't imagine going to a job that, I don't know, that wasn't fun. And I feel lucky that every day that I get to come in and yeah, there's some heartbreaking stories. And yeah, there's times where you're going to get frustrated or stressed out, but every day is a new day. And whenever if I have a bad show, I just think, well, I'll have another show tomorrow. And that's the great thing and it's kind of like playing a sport. It's kind of like baseball. If you strike out 4 times at the plate, well, tomorrow's a new day and you could hit 4 home runs. So I think it's very similar, where you can't dwell on things and you just have to wake up and think, all right, I'll do my best today and we'll see. And if it's not that good, well, then I'll try again tomorrow. I always looked up to the sports reporters that I would watch when I was like younger. There was like Stacey Dales and Aaron Andrews was just starting out when I was just starting out, and I always watched those people on the sidelines and listen to their questions and try to see how they would hold their own and remain professional. So yeah, I would always try to watch I found myself, gosh, when I was starting out in college and decided I wanted to do this, that would be like 14, 15 years ago. I found myself watching any female on TV and was like, okay, how does she do that? And how does she keep her own? And how does she remain professional and stuff? So yeah, I would always find myself watching all the time. When I first came here, I was the only female doing sports anywhere. And I was the only female that had done sports in 20 years here. So the area wasn't necessarily accustomed to a female doing sports. And that was the same with my previous job too. And sometimes you get people that are a little, well, you've never played football, so how are you going to ask me about that? And I always say, well, my job's not to play the sport. My job is to question the sport and to question different things about it. So my job is journalism, just as your job is coaching. Your job is to coach. My job is to ask questions about certain things. And I don't need to have done those things. I ask questions to convicts as they're getting their prison sentence. I haven't killed anybody, but I have a right to ask them about it. So I have noticed that, yeah, there are, and I think it'll always be that way, just because sports in general, a lot of guys play sports, and there's obviously a lot more females now than there was even when I started. And which is great to see that there are more females doing it. And there's more news directors giving females a chance, and there's more general managers giving females a chance. But you have to do your research and you have to study it a little harder. When I first got this job, my first assignment was going to be covering the Penguins, and I was going to go on the road with them because they were in the Calder Cup playoffs. So that's when I went to Maine, my first and only time going to Portland, following the Penguins there. I didn't know anything about hockey. I came from Texas, and I had never been to a hockey game. But I took my job seriously, and I stayed up all night and all day the day before, and I was studying the sport of hockey. I found myself Googling the rules of hockey, and then I found myself looking up the rosters and found myself watching hockey on television and watching different plays and trying to just learn as much as I could. And I thought, you know what, I'm a female going in there, and no, I've never played hockey in my life. I've never even been to a hockey game. But I want them to take me seriously, so I got to take the sport seriously. So I find myself studying a lot more, maybe than most would. I did the same thing with NASCAR. Now I've covered a lot of NASCAR races, and that takes a lot of studying as well, learning all of the drivers and all the cars and all the sponsors and who's won what races. And I find myself studying more than the average male. Even my male counterparts have said, "Wow, you're really trying to study all this." And I say, "Well, I'm a woman doing this, so I have to take myself seriously, and I have to maybe go that extra mile. Yeah, maybe I have to study it an hour longer than the men do. But if that's what it takes to know when I interview an athlete that I take them seriously, then I might get the good interviews." So, and I know that there's that that standard of, oh, the girls are, they're ditzy, or they don't know what they're doing, or they're just trying to be on TV. So I never wanted to be perceived that way. So that's why I would study more and take myself more seriously. So yeah, I had to put in more time, but I think it's worth it in the end, and I think that I would prove myself to coaches, and I've had a lot of coaches that have embraced me over my years here, especially. Yeah, I in terms of like the opportunities, it's been great. They have given me so many great opportunities. There have been times though that I was discriminated against, or there was a time where I was, I don't know if sabotage is the right word, but when I was reporting for a station, the other station, because there's always going to be like a rival station or a rival network, was all men, and it was my first day, and they tried to force me out of the locker room and tried to say that she's a female, she's not allowed to be in here, and told the PR people with the team, oh, I don't think females should be allowed in the locker room. They'd never been in here before, and they hadn't been in there before because there was no female reporter before. So they had told the PR person, we've never had a female in here before. We need to give the guys their privacy. She needs to wait outside. She can't do her interviews in here. And I got very upset because it was my first day. So I got very upset, and I was like, this is not right at all. And I came back to the station that I was working at and told my bosses what had happened. And they were, of course, furious and contacted not only the team, but the other station, and was like, well, this was a dirty little trick that you were trying to play. And that was the first and only time that has happened. But it was a dirty trick by the other people because they didn't want me to get interviews, which, looking back at that, I'm like, wow, they had some nerve doing that. But really, it was a case where they basically straight up used the fact that I was a female and said, she's a female, she shouldn't be allowed in the male locker room. And the PR person was like, oh, okay, yeah. And I'm like, what? No, I'm trying to do my job. And they're like, you'll have to do your job in the hallway. And that was a very frustrating moment. I remember calling my mom and being really upset, and she said, that's not fair. And they were right. They had never had a female before. And that kind of hit me like, wow, I'm the first. So being the first though, yeah, I'm going to have to go back in there and say, no, this isn't right. This isn't fair. And they fixed it. They corrected it, and they apologized, and then the players just got used to it. And the players can be very immature. Let's be real, they're athletes, and you always are going to encounter that. And so yeah, I've encountered athletes that are immature, and they would try to do things to catch me off guard. They would try to be like, oh, someone over there doesn't have a towel on, or yeah, they would try to do things like that to catch me off guard, like there's a female in here. And I think they quickly realized that, no, I'm not going to be fazed by this. No, I'm here to do my job. And I finally said that to one of them. I'm thinking of a hockey player in particular, and I finally said, listen, your job was to win the game. You didn't. I'm here to now ask you why you didn't do it. That's my job. And the whole locker room shut right up. And they were like, okay, well, I was like, I'm not here to play games. You guys didn't play your game very well, so that's why I'm here. And I think after that, then it was, again, you have to like go to their level. Like if they're gonna be snarky, well then sometimes I'd be snarky. And then we ended up, going on the road together and sharing many laughs and many good memories and many good times. So yeah, I do get upset when I hear about this industry if I hear, that a girl is not acting professional, because I think, that reflects on all of us. And I think we should all be strong women, and women that are band together and do our jobs and are professionals. And so, when I hear of women not doing that or not acting professional, I take it personally almost, because I'm like, you're reflecting on all of us, because we really are all banded together. Even though we're all individuals, a female in this industry, we're all banded together. So I hope that all women take their jobs seriously, because you never want to be on that same level, like, oh, well, I met a female once that was reporting and she did this, this, and this. Where you never hear that about a man, because the men aren't banded together at all. They're all individuals. And with us, though, it's kind of like we're all banded together. So we all have to act our best. People do that. People do that. And I've said that to my coworker a lot. I'm like, oh, you just have to get up and wear a suit and tie. And God forbid if someone just doesn't like your tie. But like that's the worst that's going to happen, With me it's, oh, that's too tight. Or oh, like, do you think, and I've seen it happen to other women. I'm a member of a group called Female Newscasters, and it's a private group on Facebook. And someone started it last year. It's a great thing. And now there's, I think, 4,000 of us. But it's a place for women to share stories. And they go on there, and every day women share bad stories or good stories. And some of the stories just absolutely baffle me. There was one woman that put on there, she took a picture of an email that she got from a viewer. And it was, you look so fat in that outfit. You should wear something more loose because it's disgusting when I see you wear tight clothes. And she put that on there, and she's like, so this is the kind of day I'm having. And of course, we were all like, you look great. And I think she needed some reinforcement. And that's really hurtful. And people have definitely, I think we've all been at the other end of that, where people just want to criticize her. Oh, I hate your hair. My coworker doesn't even have hair. Like, what? So, but it's people, I think for some reason in this world, they expect the women to have this perfect look, or look beautiful all the time and look perfect, and they feel like they can judge. And the people that are judging are, not that anyone has a room to judge, but it's the people that are just sitting, I think, in front of their computer and using that as a way to troll people. I think more women, for sure. There's a lot more women. People are more accepting of women in the industry. People are used to it now. And I think we're treated more like equals, like a lot better. I would definitely say that's changed a lot since I first started, for sure. Yeah. I think that I always try to treat people with the same respect that I would want to be treated, whether it's people that I'm interviewing or colleagues or coworkers. And I think because I fought so hard to be on the same level playing field, that I try to treat everyone on the same level playing field, whether it's a brand new reporter starting out, or someone that's a veteran reporter, or a brand new athlete or a veteran athlete. And I think I try to show that respect to people, and I've definitely felt that I've gotten it back from doing that. So, yeah, it's really